Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood, issue number 4. I believe this is the final of this installment. And maybe it's the last of these Black, White, and Blood books. Have they announced any more coming out? I feel like when another character that suits this pseudonym will, show up, maybe we'll do another one, but they haven't done a Punisher one recently, have they? I don't know. This feels like it was a trend of the past couple of years. I don't know if it's going to continue, but it's interesting enough to say the least. I haven't been the biggest fan of some of these shorter stories in this anthology. This might be my favorite issue. Just really weird, simple stuff. It has if you have suicidal thoughts, here's a suicide prevention hotline you can talk to about stuff with that. I think that's kind of cool. And it's just a bunch of cool, interesting, creative stories. So we have Good Morning by Christopher Cantwell and Alex Linz. We have The Scent of Blood by Nadia Shamas, Dante Bastioni, and Chris Sotomayor. And then we have Born to Be by Paul Azacenta. And they're all pretty good. So we'll start with Good Morning. That is the first one in here. And you guys know I'm a fan of Cantwell. He's been a guy whose career I've kind of been following from his Marvel stuff. Very fascinating work. This is kind of a simplistic story. It's like a game of X's and O's. All the X's represent spots where you die and where you come back when you're reborn and you fight that again. You have to get to the O to survive. And we're just seeing Mark's brain go into madness as he moves from X square to X square fighting these creatures. He starts fighting Bushmen. Makes sense. Goes to fighting his brother Randall. And, okay, I think I'm going to bring this up right now. I haven't really brought it up anywhere else, but let's bring it up now. This book has Shadow Knight. And then we see that the Strange book has Shadow Knight. And then we see the TV show talks about Randall heavily. Are we setting up a huge return of the Shadow Knight in maybe the movies or something? It feels like we're getting the Shadow Knight quite a bit. Okay. Beats his brother up again. Then who does he have to fight? Well, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Wolverine, of course, from everybody's favorite run on the book. It's kind of a joke in the Moon Knight community that we all make fun of this run with the Bendis stuff. And it's like, oh, they're heroes, but I have to kill them anyways. So he kills them. And we get to the hardest task where he is kind of placed in front of his other personalities. And maybe he's placed in front of Marlene. He's like, can I survive this? Can I survive these people? Can he fight himself and kill himself ultimately? And he does. The scene ends with him kind of blowing his own brain out. And then we see that this is all just to please Khonshu, just some weird sick game from him. And he kind of just wakes up in the middle of the night. And Tigra is there, and she's like, hey, good morning, you want some coffee? And you're like, oh, was them sharing the bed? They don't say, but cool, Cantwell, thank you. Having these two cute people be in the same room. I like it. Really nice, interesting story to play with. Mark's entire identity is him, essentially killing himself for his god. That's a fun area to explore, and they do a good job presenting that. I think it's kind of compelling. Something about that's kind of interesting. The Scent of Blood is a really fun concept. That's the next story that I'm surprised nobody has dealt with. So Moon Knight is just fighting some cultists. We've seen that in this book already, and he gets some of this, tainted blood into his system. And it kind of it's like blood is in his system. Some weird energy from a chalice burns him kind of thing. It kind of gets inside him. And he starts having these weird dreams. He doesn't know where he is. He's waking up all these weird locations. He's surrounded by this weird fog. And essentially he's like, something happened to me. I was fighting a cult. I don't know where I am now. But what's actually happened, he's trapped inside a new mind palace-y thing. Because guess what? The god Sheshmu has pretty much reclaimed him. Big lion guy with a big sword. He's like, dude, you spilled blood on my altar. That means we're marked together. You're my new guy. I'm going to use you for some fun stuff. I just hope you like being a weird son of a bitch now, because that's what we're going to do. Mark's like, no, I already have one crazy SOB inside my mind. I am not having a weird lion dude show up in it. So Mark's idea is if I hurt myself in the real world, he'll see that I'm crazy. And that's what he does. So Mark takes a broken shard of glass, cuts his shoulder. It cuts Sheshmu, and he's like, okay, I'm free. And then he's able to do that, and he uses it to fight the other cult people. This is a concept that works so well for the character. What if another god tried to claim Moon Knight or accidentally claimed him in some weird ritualistic thing? How would that play up? How would that go? It's awesome. Very funny, very cool. Works for the character. And then we have Born to Be from Paul Azaceta. Yeah, you know. Great artist. Cat's pawing at the window of Mark's place. Turns into a cab driver, and he's like, okay, I'm going to do the cab thing now. And essentially he's being haunted or stalked by this weird thing. He doesn't know what it is, but it's like this person in his cab that knows who he is. And they're just like, I am the cure. And he's just having weird dreams about it. It's like, well, that has to be a clue to something, right? Obviously, this cat that's been outside my window, this person saying I'm the cure. Now there's a bunch of cats in my apartment. Something is haunting me. I need to find what it is. And essentially what we see is like, this is just Conchu like, can you like help somebody I know, please? So they go to like this weird location. When I burst into this really weird complex, this really old building with a bunch of Egyptian mythology and weird, there's like relics and stuff there. He gets inside, and another weird cult thing where people are worshiping a god. This one's Bastet. And this woman is giving birth to a weird cat that is screaming at him. And he has to fight this weird evil cat. And he's like, you guys are tainting the image of Bastet. This is stupid. I'm going to have to kill this cat now. And he does. And you're just like, okay, so this issue is pretty much just like, you know, an evil version of Bastet's avatar or creation is stalking Moon Knight. So Khonshu and Moon Knight are like, what if we just go like stop that from happening so Bastet's name isn't being dragged through the mud a little bit? And that's what happens, folks. And you're like, that's kind of fun, actually. I don't hate that idea. It's, again, like a 10-page idea, but kind of funny, kind of interesting. It's a great little anthology. I had issues with a couple of the earlier books, but I really like the theme of this one where it's like Moon Knight's going to put himself through the ringer if it means getting through the pain and getting to the end of his mission. I think that's kind of cool. The artwork's a little more sharper in this book than some of the other ones, and the stories are really interesting. I have to say this was probably my favorite of all of the anthologies so far, and, well, I wouldn't say this series was perfect. It's cool that this was a concept we could explore for a bit. I did dig that. I really like the idea of just either, hey, we're going to help another god's like identity being ruined, or like, oh man, another god has claimed me. Those are fun concepts that I have no doubt if another writer takes over the character would be explored in further detail. But it's fun, man. I dug it. I dug what this book did. So, Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood, issue number 4, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.